But it's really not as great as you might think in America. I didn't really realize how developed Taiwan was. You know, maybe I thought it was a lot more undeveloped. People try to scam you or steal your money or take advantage of you. It was quite intimidating because I had traveled abroad, but I had never been to Asia. I couldn't tell the difference between a restaurant and a bakery and a nail salon. Taiwan already has quite a lot of influence from Western countries. I don't think it needs a lot more. You can go bankrupt from having a bicycle accident. It was kind of funny when I first came here, I didn't really realize that a lot of the things that you can get in the US, you can still get here. A lot of people, I think, especially younger people, think if you're from America, then you're automatically like, you know, cool. And Taiwan just kind of checked off all the boxes that I wanted. And there's problems with every country, but overall, I think there's more good than bad here.
Hi, 大家好，欢迎来 Welcome to Taiwan. Today we are in Taipei to have a chat with our friend. And before we go, please don't forget, as usual, to click on that subscription button, like the video, help us share if you can. From the last video, a lot of you wish me good health, and thank you very much. I am Rohan Gandong. I feel much better now. I've resumed work and I'm running around. So thank you very much for all your wishes, and I wish Daja good health, happy life and prosperity. Before we start, if you like the video, there is a hype column also. You could hype the video so more and more people can see this video. Also now, at the bottom of every video, there'll be a shop named Daylight 3 Prints. It's for Welcome to Taiwan. So we'll have items over there. If you're interested in any item, you can just go there, check out. Probably you'll find something interesting that you might like. If you don't, we also make customized products. If you have something you wanted to print out in 3D, and also if you have a restaurant and you want to advertise your food, you want to print out some food in 3D, or you have a picture, you want to print out your picture as a 3D figurine, just let me know in the comment section, or contact me through my email or my Instagram, and we'll have a good deal. Finally, we'd like to give a big thanks to all those who continue to support this channel, being subscribed and not subscribed, but special thanks goes to channel members who are subscribed and become members of the channel. There will be a special discount code for the shop for those who are members of the channel. So I will post that later on members section only. You can have that discount code and use it anytime. You have a 10 to 20% discount on any product, and you can use it anytime on the shop that we have on Welcome to Taiwan. So thank you very much for your continued support, and hope you will continue to support this channel. Please help us share if you can. Thank you.
My name is Daniel Rios. I come from California in the USA. I've lived in Taiwan about 10 years, and at the moment I'm doing a lot of mountain guiding and travel planning.
Travel planning?
Like not a travel agent, but it's kind of like a travel agent. So I help design packages for people visiting who want to see places but don't speak Chinese and don't understand the transportation or how to get to certain places. Most of the work I do has to do with like hiking and getting permits and taking people up the mountains. That's like the majority of my work, but sometimes we're doing a lot of really exciting new things. We're kind of shifting more towards bespoke, custom tours, longer tours for bigger groups, 10, 12 days, 5, 8, 10 people, cycling tours, river tracing, rock climbing, mountain biking, like pretty much everything. Like there's so much nature here in Taiwan, and there's not a lot of resources available in English for people to come and explore it. And so we're trying to change that.
So where can someone find you?
TaiwanOutdoors.com.
All their links will be in the description below. Go check them out. Let's go back memory lane. Why do you choose to come to Taiwan?
Originally, I lived in California, and it's a very expensive place to live. The cost of living is very high, and I wanted to go somewhere with a lower cost of living, better access to travel, good hiking, and Taiwan just kind of checked off all the boxes that I wanted. One of my friends from university married a Taiwanese girl, and that's how I learned about the country. They told me the people are very friendly to foreigners. Everybody speaks pretty good English. The transportation, public transportation is pretty good. There's a lot of outdoor activities. It's safe. They have good health care. It's easy to go to a lot of other countries.
Some of the things they told you about Taiwan, is there any that you find disappointing?
The driving culture here is a little dangerous. I mean, there's problems with every country, but overall I think there's more good than bad here.
Could you take us through your journey to the point where you found your feet?
When I first got here, it was quite intimidating because I had traveled abroad, but I had never been to Asia. And so when I got here, it was, I didn't know any Chinese at that time. And so like trying to order food at restaurants, even simple food like fried rice, was difficult for me. So I spent a lot of time eating at 7-Eleven and staying home and not really venturing out and feeling shy. And then the more time I spent here, the more I learned about social groups and places to go, where foreigners hang out, and my Chinese skills improved, and I gained more confidence. At that time, I didn't travel outside of Taipei too much. I didn't go hiking and stuff like that. When you go out into the countryside, people speak less English, and so it's harder to communicate. I think so because of that, I didn't, get out and see other parts of the island right away. So I think that was kind of a challenge also in the first year or two. I couldn't tell the difference between a restaurant and a bakery and a nail salon. So that was intimidating. I didn't really understand how to use the public transportation, so just like getting around was kind of hard. Like I took the wrong bus a couple times, or I took the bus in the wrong direction a couple times. It was kind of funny when I first came here, I didn't really realize that a lot of the things that you can get in the US, you can still get here. So like I packed a bunch of things that like I probably didn't need to pack, like shirts and socks and stuff, and I found out very quickly that you can get all those things here.
What were you thinking when packing those
Well,
things?
I don't know. I think at that time I didn't really realize how developed Taiwan was. Maybe I thought it was a lot more undeveloped, and so I thought like a lot of the things that you get in the US, you can't really get here, but actually that's not true. Most of the things that you can get in the US, you can get here. They might be more expensive, but unless it's something very specialized, you can get pretty much all the same things here.
If you had to introduce any American culture to Taiwanese, what American culture would you like to introduce?
Well, to be honest, they already have quite a lot of American culture here. I mean, like, a lot of the fashion comes from the US, like brands like Nike and Adidas are very popular here. Some of the like sport, like, trail running is becoming popular here, road bicycling. So NBA is very popular here. Baseball is becoming more popular here. So I think Taiwan already has quite a lot of influence from Western countries. I don't think it needs a lot more. I think some of their systems, I think, could stand to be improved. Like, for example, the driving system, how you go about getting a driver's license, I think could be changed. I think some of the education system could be changed. But overall, I don't think there needs to be a lot of serious changes.
If you had to introduce any Taiwanese culture to Americans, what Taiwanese culture would you like to introduce?
Honesty, I guess. Like, you can leave your iPhone on a table here and walk outside and come back and it'll still be there. You can't really do that in most other countries. Respect, I think. People follow the rules here. People don't even drink water on the MRT. I think Westerners could stand to use some of that. Shared meals, I think, is kind of fun, with the Chinese, with the round tables. Americans don't really do that. I think that's kind of cool. The healthcare, I think America, that's a whole other issue. The healthcare in America could stand to be better. I think America and Taiwan both have like housing problems, so I don't think that's something that can be fixed quickly. But things like that, I would say.
Some will claim America is a first world country. Why would an American move to come and live in Taiwan?
I would call Taiwan a first world country also, but it's really not as great as you might think in America. Especially coming from California, where I am from. We've got high taxes, housing prices are super high, insurance is super high. You can go bankrupt from having a bicycle accident because like ambulance is like $15,000 US.
Wow.
And if you don't have insurance, that's all on you. if you want to have a good job, you either have to spend all your money on rent, or you have to have a bunch of roommates, or you have to travel like 2 hours to work every day. I mean, America's a beautiful place, but I just think it's not a very practical place to live. And traveling, like, you're not really close to any other countries other than Mexico and Canada. So traveling is a lot harder, whereas here, like, I can hop on a plane and be in Hong Kong or Japan in like an hour. So that's another thing that's nice that you can't really get in America. It's a lot cheaper here. The food is cheaper. You know, I can get a meal for 100 NT here. I can't even get a soda in America for 100 NT.
How is it like living in Taiwan as a white American?
I'm not totally white, but I understand your question. Yeah, I would say there is somewhat of a privilege here. You know, a lot of people, I think, especially younger people, think if you're from America, then you're automatically like, you know, cool. Yeah, I don't really have any bad experiences, you know, being an American. You know, I've been to other countries where people try to scam you or steal your money or take advantage of you, especially if you don't speak their language or it's obvious you're not from their country. But I mean, here, nobody really cares. I mean, there's so many foreigners here, I think it's kind of normal at this point almost.
10 years in Taiwan. When coming here, do you have this intention of staying for this long?
Maybe not. I think at that time I was just a little confused and I didn't know what I really wanted. You know, before I came to Taiwan, I had lived in Chicago, which is pretty urban, and I had lived in San Francisco, which is pretty urban. And, you know, I was just kind of tired of being house poor and making all this money, but then at the end of the month, like, you know, barely having enough to survive and never traveling, you know. So I think the more I lived here, the more I liked it and the more I wanted to stay, I think. And once I realized that you can live here, you know, without teaching English, I think that's really what made me want to stay.
10 years in Taiwan. What has Taiwan taught you?
Taiwan has taught me patience, for sure. Honesty. I would say honesty is a big one. How to help people, how to be a good person. I think I've become a better person since living here.
If you are to change anything in Taiwan, what would it be?
Besides the weather?
Yes, besides the weather.
Besides the weather, I would like to see the government of Taiwan treat foreign permanent residents like citizens and not like visitors. So, for example, like during COVID, they were giving out money to people, stimulus checks to Taiwanese people,
Yeah.
but they were not giving them out right away to like APRC holders. And I was like, well, wait a second, I pay taxes. Like, why don't I get the stimulus check too? And they're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then they started giving them to foreigners. But it just seems like a lot of laws and policies like that, they'll do something, they'll forget about the foreigners who live here and pay taxes, and then they'll go back and say, oh yeah, we forgot that they were still here. And there's all these rules about, you know, maybe a foreigner has to pay this much and a local has to pay this much for certain things. So I'd like to see more equality. I'd like to be able to get a passport without giving up my American passport if I could. That would be something that I'd like to change. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I would like to see that also. If they can get an American passport and have dual citizenship, then I think it's fair to do it for us too. It should work both ways.
Do you have anything else to tell Taiwanese people?
I think for foreigners, Taiwan is really worth considering as a vacation spot. I think a lot of people go to, you know, Japan or Thailand or Bali or places like that that are really popular and have Instagram spots. I think Taiwan is not as popular, but it probably should be. It's a lot more mountainous, I think, than people realize. I think people think like Taiwan is just a bunch of big cities and like semiconductor factories, when really like 80% of it is like way up in the mountains and super rural, and there's like farms and stuff like that. And I think people don't really think about that. But I would like to see more tourism. As far as, you know, as far as what I want to say to Taiwanese people, I just, you know, say thank you for allowing me to stay here and being so patient and friendly to me.
All right, thank you very much for giving us your time and sharing your life experience here in Taiwan, and hope you continue to progress here in Taiwan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.